Hello my friends, very good evening to you. Namaskar doston. We all know that Anand Teltumbde is a prolific writer and a very noted, reputed scholar of India. He is currently in prison serving a sentence for his role in Bhima Koregaon, rather alleged role. He has been charged with an inflammatory speech or something like that, and um, there are lots of people charged along with him, and there are lots of people who are campaigning to get them released. By them I mean people like the noted poet, the Telugu poet Varvar Rao and Gautam Navlakha and all of that. Mr. Anand Teltumbde just celebrated his birthday in prison on 15th of July. I found this out on BBC. That is how I found out about his birthday. And then later, a couple days later, when I googled him, because when I did start reading about him and his work, I was interested and more interested. We in Hindi literature read a lot about the Dalit lives, but it's a different thing to read it in fiction, and it's a different thing. Dalit poetry is very beautiful. I have just recited a few by a few friends, by like Hirala Rajasthani, and we are all of poems written by people like Om Prakash Valmiki, and there are so many more. There is a very rich trajectory of Dalit literature being written today by my friends. But apart from fiction, when you read something of non-fiction, which is more analytical in a more realistic sense, then it strikes you a little bit more. Doesn't mean that the beauty of fiction is lessened or anything like that, but what I'm trying to say is that a few of his books really struck me as something that was worth sharing and bringing out on any possible platform that could have a wider audience worldwide. So that's the attempt, but what I'm trying to say is that he also has received the prestigious Shakti Bhatt Award for his writings, along with Gautam Navlakha, a lawyer and activist who is also imprisoned on the same charges. And when I was Googling all of this on the internet, I use the word Googling instead of searching, because that's the search engine I mostly use and it does work for me mostly. Lots of things came up, and there came up some excerpts and analysis from Anand Teltumbde's book, The Persistence of Caste, the Khairanjali murders and India's hidden apartheid. Khairanjali. Now, I hope that I'm pronouncing all of these names right. Khairanjali is a place not too far away from Nagpur, and I'm going to read this entire excerpt that I found on the internet. It's available on the internet, it's in the public domain, I can definitely read it. I'm going to conceal a few names, just a few names, and just go ahead with the reading that I have to do. I wish to send congratulations to both these eminent scholars, Mr. Teltumbde and Mr. Gautam Navlakha, and I wish to again make a plea for Mr. Varvar Rao's release. And here is the story. It is titled, "The Entire Village Was Involved, Sir, Entire Village." And this is a quotation, this is a statement given in a police station by the head of the family that was actually tortured, and we will see the details of the torture, Bhayalal Bhotmange. Now his name I am going to share with you. I will conceal the name of his wife and his daughter. Just like that. It's on the internet, you can Google it and read it, and my point is that things like this still happen sometimes, and they should not. On 29th September 2006, 4 members of a Dalit family were murdered in Khairanjali, a village of less than 200 families in Bhandara district of Maharashtra, not far from Nagpur city. Not far from Nagpur city. A woman, I shared the last name of her husband, so I am going to share the last name, Bhotmange. who was 40 years old, and her daughter, who was 17 years old only, were stripped, raped, battered, paraded naked, raped several times, and killed by a Hindu mob led by the men of the Kunabi Maratha caste, goaded by the entire village. So an entire village came together to kill a Dalit family in such a heinous way. They first raped the women. I just described to you what they did. And when I say paraded naked, sometimes it's very brutal, and trust me friends,